right, Mexican Roadshow supporters. Well, I find this very interesting. As we know, many of these universities these days, they're nothing but a liberal conveyor belt. Your kid goes in as a normal young person with common sense is a little iffy, and you're hoping that a university is going to instill some kind of work ethic and some kind of education that's going to pay off and be valuable. Except these days you can't count on that. Why? Because they're just rolling out radical liberals at a shockingly disturbing rate. Now, I did see where there's a trend of, I believe it's Gen Z, that's actually pivoting towards trade school. That's good. It's good news. Electricians, plumbers, yada, yada, yada. Hell, you can make a hell of a lot of money doing that. Now, I will say this, as somebody that managed in the corporate world for years, you potentially taking a lot of future conservatives out of corporate America? Is this possibly a master plan by the Democrats? I don't know. They want to infiltrate, take over all corporations. You're not going to have any conservative voices in there? I'm a little concerned with that, frankly. But nonetheless, here we are. Now, all these universities, they instituted these DEI policies where they brought in all these diverse and equity and inclusion individuals that was going to push an agenda. Well, the state of Texas said, no, we're not going to have that in Texas. And in turn, and I'm in Texas, the University of Texas is laying off 60 DEI employees now that a Texas state law is going into effect. Thank goodness for Republican states and for red states. Here we are. The University of Texas at Austin has been forced to lay off 60 employees focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, following the passage of Senate Bill 17 earlier this year. The Austin American-Statesman reports that after State Senator Brandon Creighton warned Texas universities about the state's expectations for higher education institutions to comply with a new law, the University of Texas has made a brutal series of layoffs. Good. By the way, like I said, I'm in Texas. Austin is California now. I don't know how else to say it. Austin is a radical California. A lot of these changes you've seen around the country on a city level, Portland, Seattle, defunding the police, degrading law enforcement, all this, Austin is all in. They've done all of this. They've adopted all this. Part of the reason for that is because of how many people bailed out of California, ironically enough, over Democratic parties, only to go to Austin to make it more Democratic. All right. UT has not confirmed to the American Statesman that the number of staff positions that have been eliminated or how many employees will be laid off, but on Tuesday afternoon, a person with knowledge of the termination said at least 60 persons have lost their jobs, 40 of them in the Division of Campus and Community Engagement alone. The layoffs are effective in 90 days or more, and people familiar with the terminations told the Statesman UT did not respond to a Statesman's request for comment. UT also closing the Division of Campus and Community Engagement, previously known as the Division of Diversity and Community Engagement. President Jay Hartzell said in an email to UT community on Tuesday afternoon, which obtained by the Statesman, that though the school made changes before January 1 to comply with SB 17, quote, we knew that more work would be required to utilize our talent and resources most effectively in support of our teaching and research missions and ultimately our students. Now, I'm going to tell you my concern with this, and I think this is a lot of people's concern. There's a lot of these bills and these laws that are going into effect try to combat DEI, but there's going to become a situation where they just start hiring for diversity. And in fact, I heard something on Fox News the other day. It's already happening in some companies, all right? For fear of being sued, they have pivoted to just not hiring the white folks, all right? In other words, we're not going to put it in writing. We're not going to put it in some internship. It's just going to be collusion of racist proportions, all right? Discriminatory proportions. So you're still going to have the same corrupt bullshit going on. They're just not going to tell anybody. And they're going to try to keep from having a paper trail. Now, it's up to the employees to expose this shit. All right? When you look around and you see, well, they've hired 19 straight minority managers, somebody's going to have to step up and start thinking about lawsuits, or it will never get exposed. In his email, Hartzell said, and that goes for universities too, in this email, Hartzell said that universities would be using additional resources to improve teaching and research. Quote, the new law has changed the scope of some programs on campus, making them broader and creating duplication with long-standing existing programs supporting students, faculty, and staff. Following those reviews, we have concluded that additional measures are necessary to reduce overlaps, streamline student-facing portfolios, and optimize and redirect resources into our fundamental activities of teaching and research. This simply devastating news comes as conservatives and Republicans controlled around the country attempt to crack down on DEI initiatives, which are effectively designed to promote minorities to positions of power and influence at the expense of white people. Straight-up discrimination. Ain't no way to say it. I do believe there's a feeling of revenge and power these people are feeling. They feel like they're getting back at whites. Yeah, that's not the way progress is going to be able to work. Sorry. At a summit on Monday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott said he was still concerned at the attempted indoctrination of young people across the state in the state's schools and universities. He should be. He should be. We are concerned about the ideology that is being hammered into our kids when they go to our schools and our colleges. Our kids are not learning the core elements that will ensure they be better qualified to compete against their peers across the country or globe. Instead, they are being indoctrinated with ideologies from far-left socialistic-based professors at our universities. There's going to have to be, in this country somehow, some way, there's going to have to be a mass exodus of these radical professors. That's the only way that this is truly going to go away. Guys that have a different mindset. All right? Because a lot of these professors hate the system and they think everybody's racist. All white people are racist. Ironically enough, it's a lot of white SJWs that feel that way and that are pushing this crap. I mean, Jesus, if you don't know how a black person feels, ask a white liberal. They'll be happy to tell you how a black person should feel. I mean, it's unbelievable. It truly is. Wow. I did a video a while back on the sports channel, and it's been maybe even a couple of years, but like the students that were involved in Black Lives Matter movements and things like that at the university made the school fight song have to go away, or they were trying to get it abolished. University of Texas is a radically liberal school. And I know there may be some people that graduate from there that see this video and go, oh no. Yeah, it is. And everybody knows it in Texas now. Sorry. I mean, it's sort of common knowledge the Longhorns are a bunch of radicals. That's what you've allowed to infiltrate your school and change the view of your school. That's how it's looked at. I'm 5 hours, 6 hours away from there. I wouldn't send my kid there no matter what. No matter what. I mean, you're sent. It's like, hey, just go to Chicago, go to Seattle, go to Portland, go to the University of Texas. Sorry. Tell me what you think. This is the first step in many that's got to happen. again, and they're going to have to watch for the collusion behind the scenes that will try to keep their ongoing DEI movements happening, whether they keep a paper trail going or not, or whether they say it out loud, but they just got a wink and a nod as they look at each other. We're not hiring this cracker. You know. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.